Hi everyone, Janie here. Welcome back to my garden. It is an absolute beautiful, beautiful day today. It's only about 83 degrees right now and it's only supposed to get up to about 92, which is just heaven for having such a hot summer. Now it's finally starting to cool down and everything in the garden is looking so good. So pretty much all summer, everything's kind of been like just holding on, just trying to get through the heat of the summer. And now that it's cooled down a little bit, everything is just looking beautiful. Every day I come out here to the garden, specifically the orchard garden, and it just looks so good. I'm so excited. It just is so beautiful. So I'm getting really excited about fall planting, fall gardening. Pumpkin spice latte, let me know if you love that because I can't get over it. So I'm getting really excited about it and I'm starting to think of like fall things. And one of the things that I did want to do today is I did want to harvest some figs. And figs just remind me of fall, like early fall, I would say late summer, early fall. I have this beautiful fig tree in my garden that kind of looks like something out of Dr. Seuss because I didn't prune it this past year. Now, I have an excuse. I hurt my foot and I was wearing kind of a boot cast thing, so I couldn't get up on a ladder, but man, you can see the effects of not pruning this fig tree. So when you don't prune a fig tree, basically all the growth comes on the end of the limbs. You can see the end of the branches. So see what I mean by kind of Dr. Seuss looking thing. And then all of these branches are getting really, really weighed down by all these fruit. So I am hoping to lighten the load a little bit. Now there is not as much fruit on here as there would have been had I pruned it, but there's tons. And figs, the way that they ripen is they kind of ripen, not all at once, kind of in stages. So you can see like this one's ready to be picked, but this one is coming right behind it and will probably be ready next week. Same thing for these. So if I just stay on top of it and keep picking as much of the ripe fruit as I can, that will take the pressure off these poor limbs right here. And then I will definitely be pruning this really, really hard this winter. So I am going to be harvesting some figs today. Let me get in the shade of my lime tree. So I'm going to be harvesting some figs today to make some fig jam, which is going to be really fun. Now, I am not going to be canning this fig jam. I'm not going to be using a water bath. I've never canned something before. My mom is like the master at canning. She's so good at making jam and I'm waiting for her to come just because I don't want to screw it up. Like, canning, you can definitely mess it up. So I want to wait for her to come, but she is on a trip right now. She is on a cruise to Alaska with some of my other family. I'm not jealous at all, but I hope she's having fun. So I'm going to wait for her to come back to help me with canning and using a water bath. Right now I found a super easy recipe that looks delicious for fig jam that you just put in the refrigerator. And I've looked at a couple different recipes and some recipes said it lasts a couple weeks in the fridge. This recipe says it lasts 3 months in the fridge. I don't really care because I think I am going to be eating it all up before then. I'm sure my family will. So especially the amount that this only makes 3 half-pint jars. So this is kind of like a tester recipe. Because I have so many figs, I want to start making different things with the harvest from my garden just so I can figure out what my favorite recipes are, because I'm going to have this fig for forevermore, this fig tree forevermore. So I got to start finding some good recipes. So I'm going to start harvesting my figs. Hopefully this is big enough. I only need to get 2 pounds, so I think that this should be fine. I'm going to harvest my figs and then I'll take you all indoors to my kitchen and we'll start making the fig jam. Okay, so for the recipe, I only need 2 pounds of figs. So I think this is more than enough. You know, I'm going to bring it inside and I'm going to weigh it. But I always pick too many figs more than I need. So let me start with this. But before I go inside, I'm walking by this pomegranate tree and man, I think some of these might be ready to be picked. Okay, so like all the other fruit trees in my orchard, I inherited this pomegranate. I do not know what variety of pomegranate it is, which would help me determine when these pomegranates were ready because certain varieties ripen before other varieties. But there are some other ways that you can tell. And so I've been looking closely at these pomegranates and I'm kind of starting to see signs that they might be ready. So the first one is color. Like if you look at this one right here, this one's obviously not ready. It's still light in color. But if you look at these down here, these are starting to look pretty red, really, really good. Another sign that they're ready is that there's no green around the stem. So if you can see that one, I can show you guys. See how it's kind of green around the stem of that one? So I don't think that one is ready. Can you guys see that? I don't think that one is ready. That one kind of looks green around the stem. I don't think that one's ready. But there's a couple of these that aren't green around the stem. And then the other thing is the shape of the pomegranate. So if you look at the pomegranates, some of them are like perfectly rounded and some of them have more of like a cube shape. And when they have a cube shape, that means that they're ready because the seeds on the inside are like plump and juicy and kind of pushing out. So you kind of want to look for that as well. The last thing that I read is that you can kind of flick it and wait for a hollow or listen for a hollow sound. Like that one doesn't sound hollow, but that one does sound hollow. So I think what I'm going to do, you know, this is the first time I'm picking pomegranates. I've never even grown pomegranates before, but I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take one of them, take it inside and see if, open it up and see if it's ready. I'm not going to take that one because that one looks a little green around the stem. There was one over here though that I thought looked really good. Yeah, this one. So I'm going to take this inside and see how it looks. Pomegranates ripen on the tree, so you don't want to pick them too soon, but you also don't want to pick them too late where they start cracking. And especially if you have rodents like we do, they can eat the pomegranates. So it's kind of, I don't know, you kind of got to play it, play it just right. So I'm just going to take this one inside and I'm going to open up and see what they look like. Okay, so I think first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna weigh the figs just to make sure that I have enough of them for the recipe. Again, the recipe calls for 2 pounds of figs, and that's going to make 3 half-pint jars or 8-ounce jars of the fig butter. I will put this recipe, the recipe that I used, in the description down below, and I will let you know by the end of the video if it's a good one. Okay, that's 1 pound. I think we have plenty. 2 pounds right there. And this is what I have left over. Perfect. Okay, so I'm just gonna go wash these and then I will cut them into 1/2-inch cubes. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut off the stems and then I'm gonna cut the figs. Look at that. Oh my gosh. I'm gonna cut the figs into 1/2-inch pieces. Oh my goodness, this looks so good. Okay, so all the figs are cut into 1/2-inch pieces. I'm gonna put these in my saucepan, and then the recipe calls for 1.5 cups of sugar. Some people left comments saying that 1 cup was enough, but I'm just gonna follow the recipe the right way first. And then it just tells you to mix the figs and the sugar together, and you wanna let it sit for about 15 minutes, stirring occasionally. So I'll set a timer for 15 minutes right now. Alexa, set a timer for 15 minutes.
15 minutes, starting now.
Gosh, it looks like jam already. Yum. Okay, while I let that set, I think I'm gonna try and open this guy. All right, let's see how this guy looks. I don't know. Not quite ready, I don't think. Man, they're still good though. Holy cow, that's yummy. Oh my gosh, that's so good, you guys. I think I could probably leave it on for another little bit just so that they get sweeter, but oh my gosh, this is good. So not totally ripe just yet, but man, in 2 more weeks, this is gonna be incredible. Okay, so it's been about 15 minutes. The figs have been sitting here with the sugar and it looks delicious. So now what we need to do is we need to add water. I have a 1/2 cup of water. I'm gonna put that in. And then we need 1/4 cup of lemon juice plus 2 tablespoons. And I only have 1 lemon, just this lemon. So everybody cross your fingers that I can get 1/4 cup plus 2 tablespoons. It's gonna be close, but this feels pretty juicy. We'll see. Okay, I am gonna roll this to get as much juice as I can. All right. You ready? Yeah, it looks pretty juicy. I don't know, you guys. I think we're good. So 1/4 cup plus 2 tablespoons is 6 tablespoons. Let's see if we got that. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 3/4. Close enough, right? Then I'm gonna bring this to a boil and I am gonna stir it occasionally for about 20 minutes until everything kind of thickens up and it says it wants to drip off the spoon in like big blobs. Okay, and all done. The recipe said it would take 20 minutes, but it actually took me 30 minutes to get to this point. I think my figs were extra juicy. Doesn't that look good? So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put them in the jars here. I have this handy little thing to help keep things neat. And then I will close them. They said leave a 1/4 inch Fill them up, but leave a 1/4 inch at the top, put the caps on, and then let them cool to room temperature. And then you can eat or you can store it in the fridge for up to 3 months. So let me get on that. Almost done. Do you know what it is?
The jam and ice cream.
Fig jam and ice cream. Let me know what you think. Good?
That's really good. Yeah.
Yummy?
Yeah. I hope you have a chance to get in the garden today.